Hey everybody, thanks for checking in. It's just a quick walkthrough of how we're painting my current body shell. Everything starts off masked, marked, and cut as normal. Mask on, black into the airbrush, and start off by gently dusting in the first coat of black. Again, this is for headlamps and for the window surrounds to start with. Only thing different with the headlights are we're using 1mm Tamiya masking tape and a pre-cut vinyl circle. For the grills themselves, you can see they're using RCS hash max hex mesh masking to dust in around the edges. A little bit finicky messing about here with the masking tape and the vinyl circles. So yeah, that's about as exciting as it gets for this. Just dusting in the black, taking our time, building up as we go. Again, this is just to try and minimize the amounts of cut lines on the headlights, because obviously every cut line you put into a body shell is a potential failure point during an accident. There you go. Again, lightly dusting in to start with, just to get everything right, and again starting from the dark colors and moving forward from there. A shadow into the round headlights as such. Yeah, make sure everything's fully covered in opaque black. I did left here is my infrared heater, which just makes life a bit quicker as well. Next up, we're doing the bright silver pinstripe, painted in Hobbynox satin chrome. I mean, it's not really chrome; it's a high metallic density silver. But it's fine. It adds that without having the different types of paint and stuff that you normally get with a chrome. This is just the demasking process, which is awfully glad this is sped up because it's just time consuming to make sure it's done and done it right as well. Using this, we'll also paint in the background for the headlights as well that we previously painted and dusted in the black. Again, the less coats we can put in this, the lighter the actual overall body shell will be as well. So there you go, quickly dusting over, starting off with a quick dusting. I say popped onto the heater for a few seconds, dust again. I normally have 2 or 3 body shells on the go, so that's curing on doing something else here. But yeah, it's just working away with and building up from scratch for this as well. You can see me there testing to seeing the matte chrome isn't terribly opaque, so you're basically giving a base to paint the opaque black onto at the end of it. There you go. Now onto the black, which gives it that opaque finish. Stops anything else from ghosting through afterwards. And quick clean of the airbrush and everything else as we go. The beauty of the infrared heater is that that's pretty much dried as soon as we end up doing things here. You can always amuse yourself by cleaning airbrushes and stepping out from there. Next step up then is the darker section, the darker sort of nightfall section. On this, again, we will demask everything else here, and we start off again dark into light. So, but the feature of these is going to be the airbrushed in star section. People ask me about this all the time, and there's bound to be a quick way to do it. There's bound to be this, bound to be that. There isn't. It's likes of RCS and stuff do a star mask, but it's only really if your surface is completely flat. Very few surfaces in modern touring cars are completely flat, so it is get a good masking tape. I use 3M stuff. Lay down 2 strips less than a millimeter apart. Make sure they're fairly level, and all you do is gently blow in with a center section on it to give you the individual lines. Rinse and repeat. You wait until, if you're doing 2 or 3 of them, and just cycle through them. Give it a 90-degree turn, do it again, step through for the rest of them, then give yourself a 45-degree turn, and either if you want to lengthen the strip out or shorten the strip out, whatever, just to differentiate it and give it what you need. This is a bit fiddly. You can see me struggling a little bit with my hands at the moment, between the cold and just not being very well at the moment. You can see me having to sort of flex my fingers and everything else, and then I'm struggling with individual bits of tape as well a little bit. Such is life. Joys of getting older. Whenever you're finished with the individual lines, and I'm a bit ahead of myself in the video here. Once you're finished off with lines, it's just a matter of using the white and the airbrush again and feathering in a small freehand dot in the middle of it to give yourself the impression of the star burst as such. Am I ever glad I've sped this up, because it's not an exciting prospect to see, to watch in real time. There you go, the freehand dots going in now. What I'm doing there, the clear liquid is RCS paint prep, which just gets rid of some of the static bits and pieces on it as well. I'm now feathering in black around. Obviously the star flares are the primary point of this, so you don't want those faded into black. So I've done those. I'm now fading black in around it, and then to give the impression of a night sky, shortly we're going to go through and apply some smaller stars to it. All we do with this is a fairly thin mix of opaque white, and use any old brush you can find and just flick it on. Use the bristles and flick it back with your finger rather than splatting it on, just because it gives you a finer star finish. Okay, now what we need to do is feather this into the blues to make it a night sky. So we're going to grab ourselves some opaque purple. In a second, obviously, whenever I've cleaned out the bit of gunk that's left in the airbrush. A little bit of Proline opaque purple, and all you're doing is feathering in around where the black is, a slightly lighter coat, but a wider angle. And again, depending how bright you want this at the end of it, how big a section it is, you can then either use a dark blue, or else I'm going to go straight into Proline Heritage Blue, which is a light sky blue. It also has the added advantage of being a very good covering coat as well. So going forward from this, there's very little will ghost in through it. Okay, again, another clean of the airbrush whenever the body's on the heater. Just mess about and check everything's all right there. Okay, so we're up to the next Magenta. Fluorescent fuchsia is the official color. It's me trying to remember what I did and didn't mark out. Okay, and this is all because we've done all the outlines in that satin chrome. It's all really easy then to demask and go from there. So again, RCS body prep just to get rid of the static and everything else, because we're going to blow from a fluorescent into a white. And we want to make sure there's none of the static spidery effects in that as well. So it took me a bit of a curveball to to go into the fuchsia, and obviously there are subliminal message on the desk as well, or just to check it's spraying okay. This is just a bit of time. This is just a bit of patience, and spray on. The lighter you can spray this on and build it up, the better it's going to be for everyone. You're better off to put 2 or 3 light coats on than trying to do one heavy coat. You'll find fluorescents don't have the greatest coverage regardless of brand or manufacturer, so you're better off to build and build and build. And when you're waiting for that, you can hit the subscribe button, just as that very subtle subliminal message will tell you as well. Every subscriber gets me closer to a goal in this, helps me create more content and spend more time doing it more consistently as well. As we go over with a second coat of this, again using a very, very fine 0.3 nozzle airbrush, and just slowly building up into it. As with all these things, you're trying to cut down the amount of coat you need in total. So the front of this is going to be just plain white. We'll use that coat effectively then to back up the fluorescent fuchsia. Again, RCS body prep just helps key the surface, helps get rid of any staticness there as well. Now what we're doing with this, on normal circumstances I would do the back as well, but I wanted to add a little tiny drop shadow underneath the where it fades into the white at the back of the body. So we've had to leave that mask. So there you go. Again, light first coat, just allow the paint to cure into it. Airbrushes were all in between rebuilds at this point, and they're definitely getting one after this. There we go. So again, a sort of half reasonable layer of opaque white in this. Me still messing about with the needle cap and that. Now we're getting in to remove the rear section of this as well. I'm at this point I'm happy and confident enough that we've got enough of a coverage in the front to allow us to apply a small drop shadow into the back here. Again, back onto the fine brush with a fairly low pressure. It's always, again, it's experience teaches you this more than anything else. But as low a pressure as you can for stuff like this, while still retaining high enough pressure to get a fine enough spray where the paint atomizes is the phrase they use. So you're getting little tiny fine dots as opposed to big lumpy bits and pieces. Okay, so again, RCS liquid mask, again, more important at this section because you're fading black into the white. Once that's again finally done, you're backing everything up with plain white, and that's us ready to rock and roll. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you get a chance, feel free to like, subscribe, and comment below. Everything helps. Thanks, night.